To talk about his transition and the challenges he faces in the first 100 days, I'm joined by Alvin Tillery Jr., Associate Professor at Northwestern University. He specializes in the fields of American politics and political theory. Alvin, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
This is a year unlike we've ever seen, with Capitol riots, impeachment, and the ongoing president not a part of the inauguration. With all of that ongoing, what do you believe this transition will actually be like?
Well, I think President-elect Biden has a very skilled team in place. I think that, Mr. Trump slowing the transition certainly put them back on their heels, but I think they've adjusted quite well. And I think that there's a lot of opportunity for him. He is facing more challenges than any president coming in since FDR's first term. And so there's a lot of work to be done, but I think he's up to the task.
You mentioned the challenges that he is looking at. What are some of those in your mind?
Well, I think job one is going to be nationalizing and accelerating the COVID vaccine program, particularly with the UK variant predicted to be the major strain in March. We're going to have to get more shots in arms. I expect that he'll invoke the Defense Production Act and try to ramp up supply. I expect that he'll put a real national plan in place, as he announced today with Mr. Klain, or yesterday with Mr. Klain as Chief of Staff, putting out the priorities memo. And I think that we're going to see a rapid acceleration of vaccinations. That's job one. I think that he's also going to use his executive orders to, frankly, undo some of the mischief that Mr. Trump has caused. He's going to rejoin the Paris Climate Accord. He's pledged that the U.S. has a moral authority to reunite the children that were separated at the border under the Family Separation Program. And then he's got to heal the nation. So, there's not going to be any want of work on the part of President Biden and Vice President Harris, that's for sure.
Alvin, we just heard from Michael Shore, who was reporting for us out of Washington, that cabinet picks may not be confirmed when Joe Biden actually accepts the oath of office for the President of the United States. How concerning is that?
It's very troubling, you can blame Mr. Trump, but really the Republican Senate leaders, Leader McConnell, he knows a lot better, and they should have been moving on these national security cabinet posts earlier than this, particularly in the wake of what we learned in November, that the Russians had hacked our critical defense infrastructure in ways that no one had ever done before. It's a very, very serious miscalculation on the part of Leader McConnell to hold this back in order to try to gain political advantage in two elections that he ended up losing anyway. So I do hope that they'll move quickly when they're back in session. And Mr. Biden's right. They can do this quickly. There's no reason for long, drawn-out processes with such highly qualified and skilled leaders coming into these cabinet posts.
With the shift of balance and power in the legislative branch, what should Biden's goals be, particularly when we're talking about that all-important first 100 days?
Well, I think that, having a 50-50 tie in the Senate is going to be a big boost to what Mr. Biden's going to be able to do. But the reality is that for most important things, he's going to need 60 votes. And so I think he's going to focus very, very heavily legislatively on something that I think there's increasing agreement around, which is that Americans need more relief for COVID-19. I think that stimulus package is going to be the linchpin to his agenda for that first 100 days. I think he's going to try to weave in all kinds of other measures like aid to the states, which is so necessary. That's going to really give him the ability to position himself for things that he wants to set up down the line. And so that's going to be the top mission. And then beyond that, it's going to be repairing America's image in the world, repositioning our alliances, making sure that our allies can trust us on international affairs. And that's where he's going to be headed.
Alvin Tillery, thank you so much. Appreciate you taking the time here on NewsNation.
Thank you.